Well, here at Camp Fantastic, we always have the pleasure to speak with this gentleman right here, Mr. Dave Smith. Dave, first off, Camp Fantastic going pretty well today.
Yeah, surprisingly so. Before we left for Culpeper, it looked like we could have about 45 minutes to have fun and then the rest of the time to seek shelter. But, you know, once again, the weather gods are in our favor, and we brought in some nice sunny weather.
I must say, not only did you bring in sunny weather, but you brought in a cavalcade of entertainment for the children today.
Well, I should say Culpeper brought in a cavalcade of entertainment. Yeah, we've got everything from putt-putt to animals to moon bounces to tractor rides and remote control airplanes and go-karts. Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, there is a lot to see and do here at Camp Fantastic, but before we delve in a little bit more deeply into what's going on here, I want to talk about overall Camp Fantastic. Now, explain to folks watching, Camp Fantastic is part of a larger week. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. The week of Camp Fantastic really is the flagship for Special Love, which is the charity I run. Special Love was founded in 1983, the same year that Camp Fantastic was. The idea originally was, let's do a week of camp because the kids need to get away from the hospital and just have fun. Well, after that first week, it was obvious they're not going to wait 51 weeks to get back together again. Plus, their parents are going to want to know, where is it we're sending these kids, you know, for when they're in not good health. And so Special Love kind of evolved to include some family outings and some sibling outings, and even outings for teens and young adults, because we realized that what we've formed here is not just a camp, it's a community. And communities don't just go away for 51 weeks and say, you know, you're on your own and we'll see you in a year. We actually keep in touch with a lot of the families year round. They keep in touch with each other. The kids who go back will talk their parents and siblings into coming back for our fall family weekend. And once they get there, they'll start making connections that they keep up all year round, whether they're at camp or not.
Mm-hmm. Now, Special Love Special Love puts on this event, and they do a great job, and you guys are headquartered. Tell us a little bit more about Special Love itself.
Yep, sure. We were founded in '83 in Winchester, which is, of course, just an hour away, by a couple who had lost the daughter. And they wanted to see other kids have more opportunities to feel normal. And so that's where the idea of a week-long camp came from. But then as the families began to learn more about it, we realized that there are resources the families want to share as well. And I should say, in addition to doing the camps, we also do financial support. We give emergency financial aid to families who are going through mortgage crises, or their car is broken down, or the electricity is about to be shut off. You know, and if you can imagine having a child in treatment for cancer and you've just lost your electricity or you're out on the street, it's just unfathomable. So we have a relief program for that. And for the kids who graduate from Camp Fantastic, we actually invest in their education by giving them scholarships to go seek post-secondary education.
Well, if I wanted to help Special Love, because you guys do some amazing work, what is the easiest or quickest way that I can help you out?
Beg for money on air. I'm just
okay, well, we're doing that right now.
That's
that
right.
Sounds good.
I'm just kidding. No, if you go to our website, which is just speciallove.org, O-R-G, you'll see opportunities under how to help, include volunteering, you know, because if you look around, there's 100 people here who were not with me. Mm-hmm. They were here when we got here, and they put on all these activities for us. We've had a group come up every night this week to do dinner for us. We've had groups that come up and teach soccer and help lead woodworking. So you can volunteer your time. You can also obviously give money to sponsor one of these kids, not just for this week, but for any of the family weekends that we get. And lastly, you can spread the word, because there are a lot of families out there who are not getting to take advantage of this opportunity because they're either not sure about it or they never heard about it. Uh-huh. So for someone to say, well, we've been to their program and it's, you know, it's helpful for all of the family, you really should check it out. You'd be amazed how many families say that it just changed their life, not just the kids, the whole family.
My name is Julia, and I am a counselor here at Camp Fantastic. I was a camper here 20 years ago.
Really? 20 years ago?
20 years ago. So when I was 7 years old, I was diagnosed with a Wilms tumor, which is a form of kidney cancer. And you know, after that, I had my kidney removed, and I had chemo and radiation. And my family found out about Special Love, and both my brothers went to their sibling camp, and I came to Camp Fantastic, and we've been part of camp ever since. It's everything, because I know how important this camp is. I know what a special experience it is to be able to experience a week of childhood, and it's so amazing to be able to provide that to the kids here. These are the best group of kids you'll ever encounter, and so this is the most special week of my year.
All right, joining us now at Camp Fantastic is the one, the only, the Mad Hatter today, Mr. Steve Chanick. Steve, first off, thanks for taking time to talk with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here. We always have a wonderful time coming out here to Culpeper to this special Farm Day event, a big part of Camp Fantastic.
Now, for those who may not be familiar, talk to us about what your job is with Camp Fantastic and also Special Love.
Okay. I am an employee of the National Cancer Institute, one of the directors there, and we oversee the medical component of supporting over 100 children who we bring out to Camp Fantastic. And a high fraction of the children are actually on active therapy for their cancer or have just recently finished it. So the medical aspect is provided by the National Cancer Institute, part of the United States National Institutes of Health. Special Love is a remarkable organization initially conceived of by Tom Baker of Winchester, where it is based, that they provide extraordinary support for families and particularly kids as they navigate the difficult world of a diagnosis and survivorship of cancer.
Now, it's amazing to me, obviously, all the work with the volunteers, the local organizations that make Camp Fantastic happen. But one of the main focuses, of course, as you mentioned, is the health of the children. And you guys have your entire thing out for not only today, but for the entire week to make sure they still receive the best care.
Absolutely, and that's where the National Cancer Institute, particularly the Pediatric Oncology Branch program, really provides this strategic support. So we bring a whole set of nurses, over a dozen nurses, an anesthesiologist and specialists, and particularly pediatric cancer specialists. And we're here for the whole week, giving chemotherapy, monitoring care, providing supportive care, and basically on the lookout for any kinds of problems that these kids could develop. And so we have a very, very intricate medical support system that we try and blend into the background. So this is the 1 week of the year when these kids are, quote unquote, not in the hospital, but we try and provide hospital level care without them knowing it. So it's sort of a normalized experience, but we won't take the risk of letting them come out to the field here without having all the right people and things in place.
From a medical perspective, we've talked about and we know that having these kids get away from the hospital, to have time with their friends in an environment such as this is good for their soul. But I mean, how good is it from a medical perspective?
I think it's good for their care, a positive attitude, and really a spiritually and emotionally positive way of looking at things does have a component. It does influence and translate into what we think are better outcomes.